You're supposed to be. So I'm telling you, if you are to serve life, read the Bible, understand the life of Christ, and strive to work like Christ. That's what we need. That's what this world needs today. That's what it is. So we need to understand of what we are supposed to be as Christians. And she says, the physician who understands the responsibility and the accountability of his position will feel the necessity of Christ's presence with him in his work for those for whom such a sacrifice has been made. He's saying, if you understand your job as a physician or a health worker or a Christian, I'm not talking about just working in the hospital, a health leader. It says you understand you're going to feel the necessity of the presence of Christ when attending to the people. You will know that I'm not just supposed to do it physically. I need Christ for this work to be done. So before you help them, you have to pray for them. You can even get your patients on your list and put them on your list as you pray. You remember them in your prayers. You understand that you need Christ is necessary for your work to move. That's what it is. Then it says they'll feel the necessity of Christ for whom the sacrifice has been made. It says, he will subordinate everything to their higher interest with concern the life that may be saved unto life in them. So it says, you put everything with higher interest to lead them to God. You understand that? Sometimes those who are in hospitals, it's very true at certain patients that you attend to, they'll tell you it's cancer, even though we're just trying this one will not make it. Where we reach today with cancer. You're just saying, you've seen many cases of that kind and people are not living. Huh? Then you even know this one comes, the same case, then you're saying, we are just doing the same routine, but I know the outcome is this. But this is what it's saying. It's saying, he will subordinate everything to their higher interest. You also, okay, if he's going to die, he should know Christ. You understand that? That person you're helping, if he's going to die, he should know Christ. If he lives, he should continue glorifying Christ. So you leave it to Christ and ask for God's will as you do what God has told you to do. That's what it's supposed to be. Okay? Higher interest. Okay? Which concerns the life that may be saved and eternal life. You look beyond. You're not just looking upon healing cancer. You're not just looking at BP. You're looking at the life eternal in those people. What would it profit you that person gets healed and he continues his out in God? Nothing. He may now end up dying without Christ. But if he died but with Christ in him, you'll be rest assured. Do you know how much peace you feel when somebody dies in Christ, even if you mourn? You've got hope. Then if they die, they didn't know Christ. You always talk about the bad things they just did. But if they died with Christ, you have hope to see them with Christ again. Okay? So that's very important. It says, the physician who loves Christ and the source for whom Christ died will seek earnestly now listen, to bring in the sick room a leaf from the tree of life. Are you getting that? I don't know whether you understand. Remember we read from Revelation what the leaves are for the healing. So he's saying those who want life, who seek to help life restored. He says the physician who loves Christ and the source for whom Christ died will seek earnestly to bring into the sick room a leaf from the tree of life. Now that's spiritual. He's saying you will not only attend to their physical need, you bring a leaf of life, the life of Christ in their life on the bed when they are sick. You bring a Bible study to them. The words of Christ when they're in pain. That Christ still cares even in such a pain. That they may just live with hope. That's what he's talking about here. Listen, he will try to break the bread of life to the sufferer. The bread of life to the sufferer. You know this person has no hope. I have ministered to patients and they are saying, it's better I just die, I've suffered enough. What should be my goal? Minister Christ, that if they have to die, they should die with Christ. So they will strive to bring the bread of life to the suffering source. He will try to bring the bread of life to the sufferer. Listen, notwithstanding the obstacles and difficulties to be met. Look at that. You know, there's sometimes I move into UTH and I'm helping people who are sick. They come, they chase me from the bed. I can't leave until something is delivered to the patient. I face such things myself. The doctors are telling you, it's time up, you're not supposed to be here. I said, yes, I'm here. But if this person can only hear about Christ, then I will leave. That's my interest. Because I know life is in Christ. I'm not even in a doctor, not in this, but Christ. So if he can have Christ, even if the doctor will help him, this person will have Christ. Even if he died, then he will die with Christ. That's why it says here, he will try to break the bread of life to the sufferer, notwithstanding the obstacles and difficulties to be met. This is the solemn sacred work. Solemn sacred work of the medical profession. Look at that. The medical profession. I want to tell you, especially Adventist physicians that we have, because we depend upon you. Listen, physicians, all those who are training as physicians, all those who are already physicians. Do you know that today it's not just it's not coming from people's hearts, but because they just want a job? But this is what God demands of you. That you should go in it with passion to save souls. Even if your salary will not be there, you would want to save life at some point. That's what you should go into. You're looking forward to see that patient. Have you ever felt that those who are physicians uncomfortable? You can't wait to go for work to just see that patient you left, how they're doing. There is that desire. You just want to go and see how they're doing, especially after you have prayed with them. You are hoping they will resurrect the following morning. That's what it is. Now that means your work is at the tip of your heart with Christ. That's what it means. Okay? So the physician, now listen, the physician should let men see that he does not regard his work as of a cheap order. You know, people should know. I want to tell you, I'm a medical missionary. That's my work. I save souls for Christ. There are people who ask me, but you, where do you train? And they'll think, okay, my profession is maybe like the other medical profession, but I don't know. Me, I just learned how to do health evangelism. Then you get, oh, it's just that, just evangelism. So it doesn't look important. But look, the physician should let men see that he does not regard his work as of cheap order. Look, so a church as a health leader, the people, the elders should know this work that you're doing as a leader is not cheap. It's important for church members to understand. So fight for your programs to come through. How many times have been health programs stamped on in the churches? Because one, we ourselves have nothing to give the people. That's very true. Number two, so whenever they say, your program will not be there, or we are not ready, or we didn't get a physician, you are not ready, you've not prepared yourself to give the information. So it will always be, okay, later, okay, later, okay, later. Yes, they are dying. Immediately you say later, Tuesday member dies. Had he heard something from you, he would have lived. Had you gave the bread of life from Christ, they would have even died with hope. So it says, the physician should let men see that he does not regard his work as of a cheap order, but looks upon it as high. Look at this. High, noble, elevated work. Even the world honors this. Can't you see when they mention a doctor, how much people wake up? Or is this doctor, everyone will move, the doctor has to pass. You have not seen that. Yes, it's highly elevated. But I want you to know, you who's even a Christian, yours is higher because they are taking in the spiritual life and the physical more higher. An Adventist physician. That's what it is. So it says, but looks upon it as high, noble, elevated work. Even that to which is attached the sacred accountability of dealing with both the souls and the bodies of those for whom Christ has paid the infinite. So it's talking about infinite price of his most precious blood, infinite life. So you're saying, Christ died for this body. I should not neglect it. I should do all it can that this life understand who Christ and receive salvation. That's what it should be to us as health leaders, as health workers. You have to do all it can for people to understand who Christ is through health in the church. All you can. Okay? Now listen. Now it says, if the physician has the mind of Christ. Oh, I like this. If the physician has the mind of Christ, he will be cheerful. Look at how a physician is supposed to be. Cheerful, hopeful, and happy, but not trifling. What is trifling?
Not taking things serious.
You not take everything like a joke. To you it's important. Not trifling. Cheerfully, hopeful, and happy, but not trifling. You will realize that heavenly angels accompany him in the sick room. Look at that. Do you understand how to move with angels? You people, you don't understand. To move with angels in the sick room. I have seen them. I have met angels in the sick room. I have met angels in the sick room. There was a time the Lord taught me how to restore a body through understand. We drove from one university getting back to another town in East Africa, and I was weak. I was sick. I was hit by, typhoid. It hit me, and I was learning how to deal with typhoid naturally on my body. And so typhoid does not scare me because I already experienced it. So now, as I was moving, I actually preached from that university. After I finished preaching, when I was going, I felt more weak now. I'm in the car. I'm being driven back to another town. As I was moving, very weak, tired, then the car stopped. It couldn't move. It couldn't. We tried, the car couldn't start. Nothing. The water that I was drinking, I told the driver, let me put this water in the car. When I put, half a liter of water, the car started. You know how an automatic behaves when it has no water? Not just that. But God was teaching me how the body needs more water. And I sweated that my shirt was wet and the car is not starting. And I'm tired, I'm at the back. And they stayed there for about 45 minutes, it couldn't start. Then I came out with my bottle of water. Then I went. I said, let me put this in the car. When I put there, immediately it was one kick. Then the Lord taught me how to deal with the human body using the water as life. So it says, he will realize that heavenly angels accompany him to the sick room and will find ways to speak readily. When angels accompany you to the sick room, you already know what to give to the patient. I want to tell you, those who are not physicians practically, do you know that we easily know that this person is about to die? We easily get to know that this one will die, and you know what message to give at that particular time. You not tell the people, but you will know. And the Lord will show you what message to give. Later, the cancer was spreading everywhere. So I told the family, I could tell, say, this one will not live. But I said, but I need to give her home. So I went there like 4 or 5 days helping this patient. So now, there was a day, it was before Sabbath. I just wanted to go home and rest. So I'm saying, should I pass through? My heart is saying, you can't just go home, it's late, there are people who are killing in the night. I said, should I just go, it's late? And I'm dropping around 20 hours in the night. I said, should I just go through? I'm wondering whether I should go. But something's saying, just go. Then I found only where I dropped off one taxi. All the taxis were gone, it was dead. I got into it, I said, I was debating in my mind, should I turn home or go to the patient? So as the driver was there, says, where are we going? I says, I'm going home. We turn on that gate. When we reached that gate, I says, no, let's go straight. So we went straight. I reached there. I found that patient is gasping for the last life. And when I arrived, the house just said, we are waiting for you to give us a devotion. And the moment I read the Bible, the word of the Lord from Psalms, how God should bless our souls, the one who heals from our diseases, who forgives us from all our iniquities. I read that. Then I said, who owns life even if we die today? After I preached, I went to the patient, checked the pulse. She was already gone, but they were still alive. I said, I even told them, okay, fine. I didn't tell her at all. She's too weak. But I told the family, I need to push the pulse because it's too low. You can't even feel it. And she's gasping. You know, she had ovarian cancer, and she was getting swollen, a lot of ascites, and that day they just removed water from her, and she's weak, and she was staying I think her hands were like 2 of she was an elderly lady, but like 2 of my fingers, so she was finished completely. So I looked at her, I prayed with her, I even encouraged her. After I prayed, I just went. The moment I reached home, I prayed to God, thanking me for giving me an opportunity to pray with her. After 2 hours, the son drove all the way from Livingstone to see his mom. And he just prayed with the mother, and the mother gave the last word, thanking them for what they have done all through her life, and she slept. And that's how she died. So what is God expecting us to do? To give hope to the dying world. Today there are many people who are dying, and people will die. Many. Look at coronavirus. They are dying in numbers. As they are dying, they need Christ before they die. That's the work we need. I always tell people, when I look at a sweeping disease coming fast, I say we need to move faster than the disease. So can we move at the speed of coronavirus as health workers? That's what we need. The speed of coronavirus. If it's that fast, people are scared just breathing next to one. Now we need to be faster than that to take Christ because they will die in a minute. That's what we have to do. So it's saying, it should be hopeful. Angels accompanying in the sick room and will find the words to speak readily, truthfully to his patient that will cheer and bless them. Give them hope. That's what we need. That's what Christ is expecting of us. He says, through the sanctification of truth, God gives to physicians and nurses. What does he give them? Wisdom. Look at that. And what? Skill in treating the sick. Look at that. Wisdom, skill, and treating the sick. So God has to give you wisdom to understand. Okay, like this, then the Lord expects me to do this. A skill, learning of how to deal. When you see the body, like we are supposed to understand the human body. So you need a skill on how to understand what. That's why we have all physicians, you nurses, you physicians in the same day, teach all church members how the body works. Show them it's important so that they may have the skill to understand and bring the body. Wisdom. You need wisdom to know how to apply what you learned in treating the sick. And this work is opening the first closed door to many hearts. Look at that. Many closed hearts. Those who don't want Christ, but when you help them practically, they realize who Christ is. It says men and women are led to understand the truth which is needed to save their soul as well as the body. So you will teach them, you make them understand the truth to help them spiritual life and to save the body from sickness. That's what God expects us in dealing with this work. You can know me. So it says, now listen, what about physicians and ministers laboring together? I love this. All pastors and health workers should work like this in the churches. Look, the physician and the minister should realize that they are engaged in the same work. The same work as of a pastor. There is this home I've been attending to a certain minister. I was very sick. When I go there, the children say, they ask me, Uncle, are you a pastor? Are you a teacher? Are you a doctor? Those are the questions the children always ask me. Because I attend to their physical needs, I attend to their spiritual needs, I attend to their schoolwork. As I'm helping their father to understand what the father is going through, how the body is working, and I will show them and they understand from what they learned and the simple things. So it's saying the physician and the minister should realize that they are engaged in the same way. They should labor in perfect harmony. Look at that. I'm looking forward to work with pastors who wants to save life. If the pastor says we are going for evangelism, I says, yes, pastor, what are we doing for the physical part of the people? So he makes up a gospel plan and make up a health plan and combine it. Then we go in. That's what God is expecting. So it says they should labor in perfect harmony. They should counsel together. Okay, pastor, here this community we are going into, it's a Muslim area. They will not allow us. But if we use the health way, all Muslims are sick, they will still need this. So let's come up with a health way. They come to that, then when they see how we help them practically, they will listen to the word of God. That's what it says. But their unity will bear witness that God has sent his only begotten Son into the world to save all who will believe in him as their personal Savior. Look at that. It will be a witness. So the practical part of Christ is done by physicians and health leaders. So the minister will give the spiritual food. But how do people believe that Christ loves them? There should be a practical life when you attend to their physical needs. That's what it is. So we need to understand how to attend to what? Physical needs. So can you can run it. That's very vital for us as physicians. Laboring in the cities, this is the work that we have. Let me ask you, is coronavirus sweeping the villages or the cities? You need to understand. So where is more work? In the cities. There is more work because the cities are congested. That's why even the virus can go from one place to the other. There's more stress, people's immunity are down in the cities. Have you? I don't know. Do you know that right now, even when you're here, your mindset has changed from the city? There is a sense of difference from where you live and here. It's cool. Your mind is saying, we are rested. Different from home. It says, physicians whose professional abilities are above those of ordinary doctors. Look at that. It says, physicians whose professional abilities are above those of the ordinary doctor. So they are just doctors. Ordinary. So yours is not just like an ordinary doctor. As an Adventist physician or health leader, ordinary doctor should engage in the service of God in large cities. I don't know what your plan is for the large cities, because if we are failing to come up only with a health talk for a church, how about the large cities? Does it help you? You're failing to come up with a health talk for the church. What about the large cities? The whole community is looking for life and you are sleeping as a health leader. What about when you go to Soweto, all those people are moving there. All those who are smoking Bostik, all those who look a bit mad, that is the work in the city. I want you to know. All the dirty areas, that is the work of us. That's what it says. It says, you should engage in the service of God in large cities. They should seek to reach the, look at that, the higher class. How many of you are taking the message to the higher class? Let me ask you. How many health leaders are taking the message to the higher class? How many of you are attending to ministers? So you want them to die? Now, I want you to know, do you know that even me coming here today, I've closed up certain appointments with the high class? I've closed my appointments today. I told them next week when I'm done with God's work. Let me tell you, secret. I'm attending to the Commissioner of Malawi in the house of the IG every day. He's been down with stroke for 3 years and he has started working now in the house of the IG. And they say he never used to worship. Now he's worshiping God every day. He goes down to pray with me. We read the Bible before we start. And yesterday he was telling me, what is the latest news? That I told him, meaning would have increased. He says, how much? I said, it's close to $20 now. He said, what? Do you know what he told me? He got the phone and called his daughter. I need you to put 50 bags of maize to Zambia for this man. Yeah? He's thinking I'm starving. Now that's a high class. That's a high class. Immediately he called the phone. I had to stop him. No, after the treatment, after you're done. I had to make him forget. Because I'm not interested for that after he's well. So it says, we need to seek to reach the high class. You people, you need to understand, this is the opportunity God has given us. He gave you the health message to reach the high class and the low class, everyone. That's why he gave it to us. Because, look, the world is failing. So God is saying, my children, only my method will work. So you need to reach the high class. They need to know Christ. They need Christ also. You know, that bread I took a lot for my patient in that high class house. They couldn't sleep in them when they were calling me, please, that bread. Please. And they're telling me they want to take it to State House. Because there isn't through the pot. Now look, so to represent Jesus, to follow his plan for healing, look at that, that's our duty. What are we supposed to do? 3 minutes. To represent Jesus, to follow his plan. Now listen, physicians are to act in Christ's stead. So you are standing in like Jesus. You understand? It says, every physician who has planted his feet upon the rock of ages draws from the great physician. Is restoring. So you depend upon Jesus as you do this work. Please take note. You don't depend on your profession. You don't depend on how much you've learned. You don't depend on how far you've gone in education. You depend upon God if you have to be successful. Every physician who has planted his feet upon the rock of ages draws from Christ, physician who is restoring power. So it says Christ's plans are to be carried out more definitely by the Christian physician. Medical Ministry, page 120. More definitely. We need to go Christ. Now, if you say Christ's method, so you cannot do this if you never read Ministry of Healing and you're a health worker. No. You can't understand this if you've not read Medical Ministry book. You can't. You have to read that book and finish it as a health leader. Then you understand how to work. You need to read it. He said, by his own working agencies, he has created material which will restore the sick to health. Look at that. Who has made this material? Christ. if men would use aright the wisdom of God has given them, this world would be a place resembling heaven. That's what God expects us. Resembling heaven. Life is in heaven. And God wants the life of heaven to come down. When people look at you, they should say, it's better to be in the shoes of those people because they live like Christians, Christ-like. They live well. They live simple but well. They may not have everything, but the way they live, they desire your life. That's what we expect. We expect all health leaders to be Christian physicians and not just a normal physician. Brothers and sisters, I want to tell you that the normal physician is finished. The work of a normal physician is finished. We need Christ-like physician. That's what the world is lacking now. In the world where there are dangerous diseases, like coronavirus, we only need Christian physicians who would think of every soul as very important to Christ that they are dealing with. We need Christian physicians. May the Lord bless you as you retire. And make sure you become Christian physicians after this training. Amen.
Amen.